little bit of everything. I'm gonna have you all go down the line, just introduce yourselves, say you are. We have a couple of mics. We'll share them amongst each other. And then, what we're gonna do is we're gonna show, you know, some of y'all's pieces that y'all loaded up. I think everybody got loaded up to here, right? Is there anybody? Yeah, we got everybody. Okay, cool. So yeah, you wanna go, Leo, and then we'll just go down the line.
Hello, my name is Leo Garza, and I studying telecommunications here, and I love everything media, anything that can tell a story. I love that, whether it's through animation, through film, through music. So I've just been trying to grow my skills in that and really branch out into new mediums. So with our Club Media Lab, we're looking into virtual environments and 360 video as well, because now VR is coming in, especially spatial video. I think spatial video has the potential to do some really cool stuff. But yeah.
Y'all mentioned just real quick, because you said that, and it will come up. We Leo hooked us up with an engineering professor, and we got 4 Meta 2 headsets that we're gonna try and do some like cooperative real-time video playback, and also just like virtual environment research. So anybody who wants to come and be a part of that, you just let us know, and we're gonna be setting up some meetups to just mess with those 4 headsets, because what we're trying to do is do playback amongst the 4 headsets at the same time with people in the same room, kind of building those environments and see what they feel like. All right, next group.
Hello, my name is Bryce. I am a mixing master and tracking engineer. I'm also an artist, and I also do make content videos every now and then with Mr. Derek over here.
My name is Christopher Muscardo. I have a local event production business that hosts vintage and maker markets around town. It's called Ninth Market. We have a lot of content on our Instagram page, and I like to focus on the graphic design aspect of it as well.
My name is Alzar. I'm a videographer and one half of 2AM Productions. I do videography full time and also outside of my full-time job as well. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Derek. I own Absent Vision, which is like a production company. I'm a cinematographer, filmmaker, learning process. Yeah, I like to tell stories visually, so that's basically me.
My name is Joaquin, and I've been given permission to speak, so I'll be speaking on behalf of the C-Stack Collage. But, well, that's about it.
All right, so a couple of y'all gave us some projects to show off. And I think we'll start with Derek, you want us to start you off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You want to preface, or you want to come show? You're working now. I'm gonna turn these lights down. Are you got them, John? I got it. Okay. And we'll just move this mic up there so that y'all can.
So this is an artist based out of Bryan, Texas. His name is Anicleto47. He should be here with me, but he's MIA. But this is one of our first videos. Well, not one of the better ones that I like. And please disregard the drone quality footage with my FX6, because it's not the same. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Oh, listen, this is a normal day out here. Coffee at Minudi. If she look, she choosing. I watch the pictures slowly manifest and turn to movies. I see people start to stand, see the venues turn exclusive. Before you are a master, gotta become the greatest student. Look, it's nice, filled with passion. She said, Cleto, how do you do this? Cause there's no misunderstandings. We had clear communication. I got homies who ain't doctors, but still out here serving patients down. Someday. These are honest observations and the conversation steady while.
It's real laid back shit. Show your windows down, cruise to this shit. Hit this out real quick, slow grind for you.
You thinking shit is sweet, damn well let me tap you in. You sleeping with the sheep, I mean you sleeping counting sheep. I mean you walking zombie looking freak, you mock the God who set you free. Yeah. You ought to watch the words you speak. You got power in the tongue and the thoughts of what you think. I got power in the voice, can't be harmed by no disease. I got love inside my heart, so I got exactly what I need. Now, listen, I'm a rebel till I'm gone. You still paying my the bitch. She got a sundress on with no panties. Goddamn it, I love this weather. Got the kosher. Dimes turn to dollars, the anxiety turn to please. I ain't falling back, man. I'm trusting what I see. I just had to grow, man. You all just pretty. Listen, and I don't prophesize. I'm just touching a million. That's just the start, man. I'm going something different. I'm a big dog, go right through the mountain, don't fear it. Talking to the moon, relay the message to the stars. Out here trying to play both parts. You won't feel me, you got flavor, I got the sauce. We ain't playing for favors, we playing for keeps, boy. Listen, man, I'm a lion's run of a house cats. 1 minute, 1 chance, new day.
Guys have any questions? Nobody?
Yeah, we'll do questions at the end.
Oh, I do, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Did you have one more you want to show or?
I have a couple.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
That set was awesome, bro. The sunflowers.
See, I work out of Vortex Studios with Vic, so this is like his the fashion show, the very first fashion show we did out of his studio. And this is a recap of his vehicle. The guy with the mission.
Stress is one of the most common expressions that we share.
And this is another business that I've worked with. They're like it's a gym, barbell gym. And this is kind of like what I did for them. Like it's just like a very short spec, I guess. Audio.
What is real?
Dude, it's huge.
Where is this located, this gym?
It's in Bryan, by the hospital.
Oh, okay. Off like 29th or
Oh,
what?
29, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I should go check it out.
That's a nice gym. It reminds me of Brazos Valley Barbell, but bigger.
Yeah, he has it decked out. He has new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It's called Mental. I have one more video I want to showcase. Swave. We have this unreleased music video that we did a while back.
He's like, hey, you came and sat up front, so we'll put you on.
Crazy. Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, I just feel fasted with depression on some levels. I haven't eaten some days. I feel some days Professional type of fly on the wall, on the stage, on the fucking page. So disgusting, like I love your fucking dress. I just paid. Fasting me depression on some levels I haven't eaten some days after some days. Depression time will fly on the wall, on the stage, on the front fucking page. So disgusting, but I love your fucking dress. See them demons pop you up. What the fuck? Get some cover, shut the lights. I know what was sweet the eyes. Me colliding with the sun, bursting, flashing with the lights. I didn't come to turn you on, so these batteries are mine. I ain't trying to charge you up. Why you hungry all the time? Fuck it, I be the hunger and I'm hoping it's desire. If at the least bit of concern, decompressing just in time. If you decide to hit the switch, I might blow overtime for living young and fine wine. If it is disaster in distress, you can hear the bleeding cries. Like a word from my eye. I see this gold and this micro's haven't died. So I collide and slope and I collide on the fly. Slide on the tide. Can you get your blow? Never mind.
I have one more. This is my personal project last month.
Let's do more steps.
Just lock it. I hope something's done.
Alright, guys. So much. Any questions you guys might have or?
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll have everybody show their
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
and we'll do Q and A at the end. All right, who wants to go next?
We do, well, sorry.
No, that was great, man.
Yeah.
You have a wisdom thing on it, I can introduce this.
Yeah, why don't you do that? What, yeah, practice it.
Um,
And is he out shooting today or what?
No, he was a bit too shy to come talk about his project. We have this guy called Winston. He's a part of the filmmaking club. He has a feature-length film project going on. It's been making for about 4 years. And now it's finally getting like the first shots of it is getting shot. So the first scene that we filmed was out in the Crossroads. It's a filming location we found out in Groveton, Texas. It's about a 3-hour drive, 2-hour drive away from here. And I've been there almost 10 times now because, you know, as filming things go, it doesn't, especially with movies, it doesn't go right the first time. But I think he's finally like comfortable with what he has right now. But it's gonna be a tech demo. Doesn't have audio. It's just kind of show everyone what the kind of project will be looking like what the color grading would be looking like, and it's kind of, I guess, general vibe. I think that's kind of what he wanted to show today.
This is Black Magic,
No, yeah, this is the Ursa actually.
Versatile, 6K or 4K or?
4.6K, the non-broadcast version, which Kami has the broadcast version, and we do not like the broadcast version. The actual cinema camera. So this is, I think this is the largest budget film that's been going on, especially student film. It's almost, I'd say, 20-something K of collective funds going in here. But yeah, it's finally getting shot, so I'd say keep an eye out. It's gonna come out someday.
What's the premise for the story?
Great question. All I have is Diego is the main editor, so he probably knows better. But one line synopsis I got from him was that it's about the band breaking apart. That's the premise of.
How did y'all light the light?
So when we first went there, we took 3 man lights and the C-stand, just like generic like LED lamp. But the second time we went there, we were going there with 1 car and we couldn't fit like an actual generator with us, so we just lit it with car lights, like a car headlights. And actually, I think it turned out like looking pretty decent. So yeah, that was his project.
Cool.
Breakers. And
Yeah, why don't y'all go ahead and
episode
share
4,
those?
can our investor give us a few words about what the episode 4 is going to be about?
Yeah. Anything like that.
If y'all aren't filmmakers, I don't know who are. Shy, a little awkward.
Okay, anyways, so for the CSTAC collage, we put together this documentary on the Aggie bonfire and everything, you know, it stands for and what they're doing and all that. But after after a lot of long months of creating it, it is finally finished and it has been posted. And we're here to present it today. Hopefully y'all enjoy it in some way. But can we show the whole 11 minutes?
We got
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not more than enough.
Okay, so what's your name, your major, and what do you do out here?
Howdy, I'm Ron Ridgway. I'm a manufacturing engineering major. I'm the NSW Regional Butt Hop for the Corps of Cadets Bonfire Crew. We're out here building Aggie Bonfire as it's been since 1907. Year it started, kept it going well on, keeping it alive. Bonfire started back in 1907, so it's a century-old tradition. It represents the burning desire all Aggies have for Texas A&M, just the embodiment of what it means to be an Aggie, working hard, sacrificing what little you have, building a massive structure, and doing what people think are the impossible. University tries to ignore what we do out here. They don't acknowledge it much. We want to prove ourselves that we are a very, very safe organization. Safety's been a religion out here, the name of the game. We've learned our lessons the hard way. We know that. Back 993 tragedy. We will not let that happen again. So always wear our helmets out here, helmets at all times in the woods. We have ourselves steel-toed boots at all times. 1, 2, 4 forward, front and right.
How long you been out here?
We got here. I don't even know what time it is. I think, yeah, about 7, I'd say.
Well, like, what's about to be going on? Like, what are we doing?
So typically this is the part of the day where instead of cars being in the parking lot, we have a bunch of logs and we pick up the logs and then we put them on the truck. But I don't see any logs, so I think we're just kind of hanging out for now.
I think just threw up in its mouth.
Like you're funny.
I myself am an OSHA certified safety professional. I take that very seriously, keep all my fuel safe at all times.
We just had Casey, like a bad Casey sticks in my pocket.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Jake Glenn, class of 2024. I'm a management consulting major, and right now I'm a dead brown bot. Last year I was fighting Texas Aggie brown bot for the 2022 bonfire season. They are the ones who handle safety. They handle the chainsaws and a lot of machinery. The green pots also handle machinery. They also handle like PR, merchandising. They handle a lot of all the logistics right here. That guy walking back there was a red pot actually, so he's not like the CEO or anything. You have also the crew chiefs, which have their own distinguishable pots and their respective colors.
What's the strange part again?
Strange pot is the head crew chief and meat bugs. Except I don't eat bugs. I don't like them. So I eat pennies and dimes.
You guys demonstrate?
I don't have.
Really not many.
You can do it. Come on, for the camera. Yeah. How many is in the coin jar now?
So Bonfire is one of those special organizations where anybody can join, honestly. As long as you're motivated, you're willing to work, and you want to have fun, you can join Bonfire. That's how I got into Bonfire Month this year. And the rest is, I've been here for 4 years now, and I love every second of it. If you don't have a place, maybe, applications got turned down, or you just didn't fit right, try out Bonfire, you know, it's a place for everybody.
I don't know if we can. Oh. Our smallest fish.
The video.
Well, today was Wednesday, so it's center pole unload. That's where we took center pole and the perimeter poles off the trucks. We had everyone lift them by hand, so no machine lifting, just with their shoulders. And then currently, they're digging perimeter pole holes. So there are 4 poles that will be put into the ground. And they're doing all the digging right now with pickaxes, shovels, and these helmets called pots. On Friday, that big pole back there will be actually putting it into the ground, and that's a big event. Okay, my name is Megan Hecklinger. My nickname is London Tipton. I am a class 24 visualization major, and I'm a photojournalist for Student Bonfire. I joined Bonfire 6 years ago, so back in 2018. I came to college not knowing really anyone. I had a friend that came with me, but I didn't have really a community or people to talk to. And my chiefs at the time came to my dorm room door, knocked and said, "Hey, we're having marshmallows outside if you want to hang out, meet new people." So they invited me to hang out, and I really liked everyone in it. I think Bonfire is open to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're more of an indoor person, outdoor person. I'd never been out in the woods before, never swung an axe, never killed a tree, and I love it.
I just don't think it's interesting. Like, it's just a freaking ball. But the process is interesting.
I am Jackson Glenn. I'm an industrial distribution major at A&M, and I'm senior head staff, which is the entire head of Bonfire. I'm the sitting president and run the entire organization. Today, we're experiencing center pole raise, which is the official start of stack. That's when we're putting the center pole into the ground, which is the main structure of Bonfire, and it's a very significant day. It's a big milestone for every year. It means we're finally ready to start building the bonfire instead of just preparing for it.
This road can be used to settle any differences between somebody. So it's like a wrestling match where the other person wins by humping the other person 3 times in the face. They're raising the center pole right now.
Right now, it's just one of the biggest events that goes on during the year, which is center pole raise. After that, we stack, which is every log gets hand placed on stack, specifically wired in.
15 more minutes before you need calls it. How many? 15 more minutes before you need calls it. And you decide.
After that, we burn it.
That gentleman up there, that gentleman is dumping the ashes of what is known as bonfire god Dwight Reed. Dwight Reed.
Spirit Lane at Bonfire, which is representative of the Aggie Spirit. The Aggie Spirit is a force capable of uniting individuals into something greater than themselves. The same spirit is said to have built Bonfire. visible representation, of the burning passion every Aggie holds within their heart.
Of the school, they think so round. Every soul is the spirit of that love. That is the XOP. Each other as they can be. We got to fight for it. We got to fight. We got to fight for food and fight. And they who stand all around. Then they will come and join the hands. For we are the Aggies. The Aggies are we. We are from San Sound.
The peaceful. Supposed to follow King and Winston. To be honest, I didn't. So I didn't even think it was. But I've been recording some shit, so it's like, wasn't doing nothing. It's a nice little day, Sunday morning, on Tuesday morning. What is it, like 9, maybe? Really scenic route. Nice little walk.
Who wants to go next? Leo, Alzar?
Where are my AirPods?
No, on the desktop. Yeah, yeah. Or under downloads, you're right. It's
Yeah.
probably under downloads.
So I was actually in Bonfire. I was in Kruger. So to see this video was really cool. I'm glad y'all did that. It was nice. So I've been doing film for a long time. I actually started doing it ever since I was a kid in middle school, just doing my own projects back at home. And the way I want to present these, I kind of want to show my progression through film. And so I did that, and then I realized that I wanted to do it as a passion, and that's what I love to do. And so in high school, I interviewed and ended up getting on a team of people that compete for film. And I ended up getting on the music video team, so we competed nationally for music videos, which just being in that group, it taught me a lot. We would have 12-hour practices where it's nonstop going, and it was also on a time limit. So we'd have 3 hours to shoot, 3 hours to edit, and you submit it, and that's it. And doing that taught me a lot about, meeting the deadline and working under pressure like that. And so then eventually, now I'm here at A&M studying telecommunications, and I really started going hard at the beginning for it. But and I'll show you a video that I made. I know Zeno is a little embarrassed about it, but I think it was fun, and it shows where I was, and I enjoy it. So
Yeah, we both, brother. Thank you.
Listen up, I've already been calling you enough, and now it's falling to the outside, but I would always be running from your love. Yeah, I'm waiting, spending a long day, baby, patient, making on my grave, will I make it out the matrix? Fly on and be back when I'm trying to touch the sky. Cause I'm tired of living for my life. When I know that this me will be hard, baby. You might come, but you won't change my mind. I'm reaching for the skies, and I'm never falling down. Be a star and ignore just every day that rain on my dreams is so tough.
So that was something we did, just, I know Zeno touched on it earlier, but it was just a lot of things going wrong that day and the emotions were off. But despite that, we did that video and I mean, not long really. We put it all together. I'm glad the way it turned out, but, and then I had to take a hiatus. I had a lot of things in my life going wrong, and, you know, family members passing away, you know, shifts in the family dynamic, as well as my own mental health that I had to take care of. And so now that I'm finally past that, I'm very proud of it. It took me about a year to fully get to where I am now. I was on max dosage of different medications, and now I'm only down to the lowest dose of one. And hopefully I can get off completely. But I think it's important to mention because despite that, I love film so much that I don't want to give up on it. And I don't want y'all to give up on it despite whatever is going on, whether it's music or film. So now that I'm finally breaking back into it, this is just something I can show y'all real quick that I did. And this was just for, it's actually a commercial, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So it's getting me excited to be like, man, I really can do this. And I hope I can get more projects to keep working and growing because it's my dream and I don't want to give up on it. And y'all should.
All right, so I'm gonna be playing this documentary that Marco and I shot back in, I think it was November. It was 3 days of shooting. I think the video ended up being around like almost 20 minutes or 17 minutes. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm probably gonna play a bit of the introduction and some of my favorite interviews, and then I'm probably gonna be posting the full documentary on our website, so you can watch it there.
The ritual, the social ritual around the fire is critical part of the technology of fire. So people, their energy, their intentions are part of the technology of fire. So we wanted to look at that. And from a cosmological point of view, it's not only about technology, it's also about ritual, about cosmogony, and about keeping alive the society. So we want to put that kind of mysticism and romanticism around the fire, because it's not a sort of fashionist way to see the fire, but a human and meaningful way to see the fire.
My name is Tiana Huches, and I am a professor of art history and the history of craft technology at Texas A&M University. I am the organizer and coordinator of the Fire Arts Conference. So I've been working since the late spring to bring in the grant funds to enable us to come together and reconstruct these various furnace technologies. We've spent the mornings having a bit more formal traditional academic presentations on main campus and our afternoons here at RELIS, where we've been doing our reconstruction experiments. for historians, we rely so heavily on texts. And I think this is an exciting opportunity to push the burgeoning field of reconstruction as a methodology to help us just open a little window through which we can peek in a more embodied and material culture significant way into early modern making processes.
My name is Peter Oakley, and I'm reader and
and something to add, this is also this is very different for me and Marco, because not only were we just recording and editing, we also had to write our own questions for this whole documentary, because we weren't really given any guidelines or any specific things that they wanted to cover. So we kind of just had to come up with our own questions. So we were asking all the participants questions, even though we didn't even know what they were working on. So that's kind of really a challenge, but I think it was a great learning experience for sure.
My name is Ana Maria Jimenez. I live in Medellin, Colombia, and I am an artist, architect, and jewelry. I'm now
My name is Andres Vélez Posada. I'm a teacher and researcher in Universidad de AFIT in Medellin. And I've been doing research on history and philosophy of science and knowledge. And I'm very interested in this kind of reconstruction of fire arts and fire technologies.
Our project is called Volver al Proceso, which means back to the process.
In this project, the main questions were principally about how early modern alchemical processes were made in Europe. Our mission here is to show all the richness and meaningful practices that Amerindian communities did back in 2,000, 3,000 years ago, up to the first moment of the contact with the European people.
What we are trying to do is find two different ways of melting the metal. And we have two kinds of alloys. We have silver and we have tumbaga, which is gold and copper. And this is what we are trying to melt.
We had prepared two different setups. The first one is a setup focused on a Huayra. It's a furnace that works with wind, with air, with breathing. And this furnace comes to life when you project an amount of air that will burn the charcoal and will reach the temperature of the melting process of the tumbaga. And the second setup we made is a pit fire. And the pit fire it's a way to come back to the original way in which cooking, smelting, and keep things warm were practiced in very different parts of the world. We wanted to come back to this gesture of creating fire within the air, projecting an amount of air, and learning from the fire itself. And maybe all the technologies of the furnace, the alchemical furnace, the Huayras, and all the more, let's say, high-tech technologies of fire come from this singular and simple pit fire.
Una de las cosas que más he aprendido con esto es que en mi profesión de artesana, porque yo soy joyera, yo me acerco al mundo a través de mi oficio y las técnicas prehispánicas me han enseñado a estar presente y al estar presente puedo como entrar en un tiempo que me conecta con el universo y al estar en ese modo de concentración puedo impregnarle a la pieza la intención que tengo en ese momento. Y yo vengo trabajando hace 5 años de esta manera para mí sola. Y es la primera vez que comparto a un grupo mis formas, digamos, de acercarme a la materia. Y ha sido muy bonito que al compartirlo no ha sido ni siquiera necesario explicar cómo se hace, sino que solamente como al compartir el modo de concentrarse, he podido ver cómo se crea eso en el grupo. Entonces, fue muy bonito al final ver cómo algunos decían, como siento una cosa en las manos, no puedo parar, o necesito continuar soplando, me siento rara. Y yo creo que eso se trata un poco de volver a nuevas, pues, volver a antiguas prácticas para conectarnos de nuevo con el hacer, con nuestro cuerpo, con el estar presente y entender que eso que estamos haciendo no solo es transformar el metal, sino que también nos estamos transformando a nosotros mismos a través de eso que estamos haciendo. Creo que esa es una de las razones por las que esto me parece tan interesante, porque hay mucho por aprender de las culturas, en nuestro caso, las culturas prehispánicas. Hay algo de ahí que necesitamos en este presente para volver a encontrar el balance, que yo siento que está en desbalance. La velocidad, tanta conexión con los aparatos electrónicos, eso todo el tiempo nos está sacando del presente. Y estas técnicas nos vuelven a traer al momento.
My name's Alan Lee, and I'm a artist blacksmith slash.
Stop it there. But yeah, this is, like I said, it was very challenging. We learned a lot, I think, especially in terms of audio. I know you could hear some of the wind, going on during like that last part. But it was kind of a situation where we were basically in a like a machine shop, and so there was like a CNC machine going on the entire time. So we were trying just like going around trying to find a place to do like the interviews, and the only option we had left was to do it outside. And you can hear the wind a bit, and kind of have to work around that, especially with these subtitles and stuff. But yeah, stuff like that. It was a great learning experience. And I really liked the way it turned out. And, yeah.
So on the subtitles, did Marco know Spanish and
Yeah,
he just did the
he
translations?
did the interview in Spanish. She was struggling a bit with English, so
Yeah.
we were able to. That was also really nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about that in terms of y'all as a duo,
Yeah.
is that like having that bilingual component in Texas kind of like opens up some extra doors. In terms of being able to go and approach different companies and interact. I will say, I got emailed by the professor that you started off with, and she asked me to Zoom, and I think it was through actually through Will that sent her to me. So it's like, it's just so funny how when you start building these networks out, like you just start, it's by this person to that person to that, these things come together. And she told me they were gonna be forging gold using old style techniques and looking at jewelry and how jewelry used to be made. And I was just like, whoa, like I really want to do this. And then I realized how busy I was, and I was like, and she was like, I'm willing to pay. And I was like, oh, well, let me ask Alizar and Marco, because y'all are two people that like are doing this full time and half time. And so, and it worked out well because you all ended up meeting someone that spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
That's really valuable. So I guess let's do some Q&A. First of all, let's give them all a round of applause. And I have to say, like, putting together the film panel here at A&M is interesting because we don't have a film program fully set up yet. We don't have a full film program. We're about to have one, why didn't you, Michelle? Yeah, Michelle Sims, right? Michelle Sims, Professor Sims, is in action of writing out the whole curriculum and having it all approved and getting it all officially done, ordering the equipment, working with, even, we were talking about Evans Annex, earlier, working with getting, equipment with them and having studio stuff. Our media and gaming lab, we proposed and we're supposed to get like 6 FS6s and like 25 A64, no, A7Cs. And like, just like, we're supposed to have a whole slew of production equipment, but we're just getting started. And so to me, what's nice about our media panel is that instead of it just being all like pro film creation, it's like we have this full wide range, right? We're seeing stuff made on cell phones. I thought that was awesome. I mean, amazing. I'm a huge cell phone geek, so all the way to shooting on Blackmagics and FS6s and like high-end cameras, and everything in between, and getting to see all these different levels of modes of production, from small crews to full crews to you know, people still learning. And yeah, I just wanted to say, like, for those of y'all in the community that are making film, like, you know, we're really excited to have y'all here, and we're also excited to like grow with y'all, because you're here at the ground floor. If you're like, well, why wasn't I here last year or invited everybody? It's like, we're just getting started. We're just finding everybody. Like, we're literally trying to build this community out. So there's no like exclusion, as much as just super excited to have y'all be a part of this. Are there any questions? I mean, I have questions, but I won't ask them.
How long did you say you and Kang were recording that bonfire?
The whole ordeal is about 2 months long, so we were there for about 2 months. No, not every single day, but we stuck around there for 2 months, and it took another, like, I'd say 2 months for editing.
We were actually there for 3 months. And the editing took about 2 months. I didn't do all the editing, but did about 2 months.
Yeah, ask me a question. Yeah, when the views.
So, one of the things that like I took away from the artist, actually I should have said something like I was like, no, I'll play that game. I took away from the music artists that I know a lot about in the video space, but not as much in the music space, was like, where's our ROI? Where's our return on investment? How do we make money? How do you get paid? Like, I see so much trajectory in that. And as a note, like, I texted Will, I was like, man, we need to have some workshops on like how to get published and make your money and get paid, and revenue streams for musicians, because while I'm ignorant of that, like, one of my biggest things as a genius is that I know I don't have to know everything, and I know I can ask for help. So on that one, I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to make money as a musician. He asked me, how do I make money? But what I do know is that I can ask for help. Right, and so I'll go like, hey, Will, hey, Campbell, like, what does this space look like? Is there any way we can put a workshop together for that? But for you all, I wanted to ask, do you all see your spaces for revenue streams, or do y'all see like how you want to make money making video yet? Or is that something y'all are still like?
I'm still struggling. It's very difficult to like incentivize like views and stuff like that. You have to get like a certain amount to start, revenue. So
Derek doesn't know what he's talking about. He's smart. He's a very talented man, and sometimes, just like a lot of people, he can be shy and
humble.
Yeah, a little too humble, won't speak his piece on the numbers. I'm telling him, like, hey man, you're trying to, get you come do a commercial. You know how much they pay for commercials? They pay some money for commercials. You don't have cheap equipment, so that's your time, that's your effort, that's your work. So yeah, hit him across the head for it. So I think it's just being a little bit more confident. I think everybody just needs a little bit more confidence. I don't know everybody's situation, but most people just need a little bit more about their passion and what they're doing, just so they can, like you said, get that return on investment when they're doing and spending their time editing these videos and shooting, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I forgot to mention along my journey is actually Joey helped me get a job in doing film And it just started off with him just saying like, hey, do you want to work on this project? And it just so happened that the work I did, the husband of the person I did the interview on, he loved it so much that he was like, hey, I would like for you to work with us. And so I got to work with the master's department here, of data science, and I did their advertising, which my videos I think are still on their website, which is that's how
Like a year.
yeah. So I did it for about a year and a half, and it was a lot of fun. And I will say that job was paid more by the hour. So it was and the projects were kind of big, so it did pay pretty well. I have done stuff where it's more paid by the project as well. So it kind of just depends on the you know, who's hiring you and what they're looking for. But I definitely do see in the commercial space, there's a lot of money to be made, especially with the skills that y'all have, for sure.
I will say that, for me and Marco, that's definitely something that we've been, I guess, getting more traction on, is getting paid for work. And luckily we've been doing a lot of work like for the school, for Dr. Campbell, Dr. Connor, and just throughout the school, but even at the Grant Stafford and stuff. But I think for almost like the first like 6 months that we started doing this, we were pretty much just working for free. That's because it's kind of, I think it was probably due to us just being kind of shy and like kind of being afraid to like ask for money. And we kind of felt like we needed to like prove ourselves first before we can start charging people. Which I think for us it kind of worked out because it also allowed us to take on more work, because more people, if you say you're going to work for free, everyone's going to say yes. So that allowed us to get a lot of stuff under our belt, to show off, and then to kind of help like advertise ourselves. But that being said, it is kind of a small town here in College Station, so there's not as much work. So for me, I have a full-time job that I do outside of 2 a.m. And then, so I have a way to support myself for now. And I guess the dream, I guess maybe probably for all of us, is to be able to do this full time and just like sustain a living off of it. But yeah, I think that's still something that I'm kind of, that we're learning.
Anybody else? Jamie? Oh, I can say something.
But in terms of the C-Stack collage, like King said earlier, is the ultimate passion project. So we're really trying to make something worthwhile, you know, without having to think about money, and to like make something worthwhile for us in the future, and also make something, you know, worthwhile for our portfolios for the future, you know, for future careers and endeavors.
Waiting for advice to pick us up.
Right.
How bad of a joke that is.
Yeah, well, I mean, whoever's paying, you know.
Well, I'm
like
just
you,
saying
Mark.
advice, like literally running business. I like how Kate knew what he was saying. He was like- But yeah, no, they literally just went after. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, so because that's something I think about as creators in general, and as people that are, you know, one of the reasons I wanted to have this conference, this music and movie making conference, is that it's hard to see trajectory. It's hard to see like, where do you start? How do you go? Like, one of the things about A&M is that it's this really safe school. I mean, it's super safe. Like, you go to campus and you're here and you live in this little world that is A&M. Like I told my students this week, I go, it's not normal to have 4 to 5 Starbucks within a 1 mile radius. Okay. It's not normal to have 3 Chick-fil-A's within a 1 mile radius. Okay. Like this is la la land. Okay. Like when you're on here, like you come here, you go to class, like what talk about how hard life is and how it's just, you know, just trying to get by, trying to study. And I'm just like, there are real people with real problems. Not that we don't have real problems here, but like there are people that are living, right? And going every day, putting time in, trying to figure things out. And what's that really to say, not to diminish anybody's mental health issues that they have here. I mean, I have my own, I take my own stuff, like I, you know, I have my own issues. But what I'm really trying to say is that I wanted to use this and we've successfully used it as a bridge to go, hey, let's have the community come see what people are doing professionally around us, and like, let's lift up not just the people that are here, but the people that are around here. And have them help us lift up and seeing what the real world is like at the same time. So that we can find place and not just be comfortable here, not just be comfortable here on campus and going like, yeah, we do this. And we don't have to go out. It's like, you know, I'm gonna pick on Sale. My Sale is, goes to Texas State. He's a film major. And when he came we were just driving over to RX Pizza, you know, downtown Bryan. And he was just like, man, you could shoot some films here. And I'm like, yeah, man, this place is crazy. But we get so comfortable. Oh, we're just in Bryan. I think you said you have a colleague that's from here, and he's like, why are you going to College Station? There's nothing to be seen there, you know, because he's from College Station, the kid, and he's doing film, and he's got his eyes set on, you know, going to make Hollywood films, or at least some independent films. And that's the thing, is that like we, you know, it's hard to see what we're going to become here and what we can do here because we get comfortable here. And so I preface, you know, with this to ask y'all, what do you see yourselves doing here? And when I say here, now I think you understand, I mean, all of the BCS area. Y'all understand the amount of potential to do things here, especially because we're between Houston and Austin and everything else.
I think it's crazy because I've met a lot of people since I've been back. I was formerly in the military, so I came back to for my brother because he wanted to start a studio, and there are only like probably 2 studios here that are even known, Visions and Gatekeepers. And other than that, I met a lot of people who are independent who are also trying to do the same thing, or they're self-taught in the closet, making their music, doing whatever they're doing, you know. But it's like nobody has a name out here. There's so much space and opportunity to just make your mark, but that's the problem. It's so much space, and you don't really see it as much because it's just Bryan College Station. It's 15 minutes that way, 15 minutes this way, and it's like, but you can do so much with that. And I've seen it. I've seen it when I DJ, I go out, I have a good time with people, and I see it happen, like actively in front of me, where people come and you get to share that experience with them, and then you realize it's not just you. All these people out here, but you don't get to see them until they feel like, oh, I can come here. This is a cool place. So I think, like you said, as long as everybody here keeps on the path that they're doing and they're serious about it and they're passionate about it, and just to build upon that groundwork to get that foundation up under you, so you can have that name where people feel comfortable enough to be like, I don't want to sit in my room. I want to go out to such and such, go to the studio, do this and that and the third, and to really give people the whole experience. You know, I feel like that's a cool thing about Vortex Studios that's here in Bryan. It's the whole package there. You can go there, you can get the film done, you can get your music done, you can be in the fashion show if you want to. There's a lot of avenues to take part in. It's not just one thing. I feel like a lot of people just want it to be this, you know, but it's all of it. The whole thing shares this one common goal, you know? So yeah, I think I'm trying to anyway. I know some of these people here are also trying to as well, to try to get that foundation up under them, to like make a mark here, because it's nothing but opportunity. Like nobody here has it. Some people got it. Grant Stafford, they got some sauce there for sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's not a place I'm like, yeah, when you come to Bryan College Station, you gotta go here for sure, you know? So I think as long as everybody keeps doing what they're doing and they're passionate about it, I think that'll happen with due time.
I just kind of wanted to hop in a little bit. So, I know that I don't really have the same skill sets as a lot of these guys up here who are crazy talented with film, and just from watching what I saw. But do you personally, do you think that there's a connection with small creators, especially in the film industry and entrepreneurship, and the skill set around that to monetize it?
Well, I think, you know, for sure that there's, well, I guess I just want to say, and music. So
Yeah.
I think that there's entrepreneurship with both movie making and small businesses and music and the music industry. And Jonathan over there, Dr. Guajardo, oh, almost Professor Guajardo, not quite Dr. He teaches a new media and entrepreneurship class here in the communication department. And I've been entrepreneurial since I was y'all's age, since I was a kid, really. I started mowing grass when I was in kindergarten. And that's, I started making money. That's how I made money through high schools. I would go clear out ditches and just like whatever I needed to do. And then I started, doing websites and photography and video, all that kind of stuff. And that's how I made money, filing 1099s. I don't know how many y'all are 1099ers out here. If you know what a 1099 is, it's a, yeah. Yeah. Well, make sure you put your third aside, right? Like, don't forget about the third, put your taxes aside. It's not all your money, you know, it's just the check that's full. Anyways, and so, yeah, it's a huge entrepreneurial thing. And that's one of the components that I'm seeing, you know, as well, as I point out, Will, because like, I'm seeing, we need to have that next year. We need to have that integrated as the entrepreneurial side of this. I also see that Johnny and I could do a whole presentation. I pointed at Johnny because when I met Johnny, he was 19 or 18? Something like that.
18, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 18. And he shot for, well, I'd rather you say it because you can build it up way more.
Do y'all know the very small salad tomatoes? Nature sweet tomatoes are like this small. They're delicious.
They're called cherub tomatoes.
Cherub tomatoes, yes. There are, well, there's a company called Nature Sweet Tomatoes, which produces the best cherub tomatoes out there. And I'm not biased, they actually taste the best. I've tried the Angel Sweet, which HEB makes, no shade at HEB whatsoever, because we like HEB. But the Nature Sweet Tomatoes, it's in the name, it's the sweet bounty of nature within that tomato. Anyway, long story short, I began working for them at the age of 18. Actually, I guess really 17 technically. I began working for Nature Sweet, and they were my first client. I shot little videos for them when I was like 17, 18 years old, and I would make interdepartmental videos, so not to go out for commercials, but interdepartmental. You know, and so to go from like one branch of the business to the other branches. They have branches in Tuxtla Puesco, Mexico, Colima. They have like all these different little branches, right? And so these videos would go out.
I would call them vines.
Yes.
Sorry,
yes.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's
They have the fruit of the vine, and the vines are reaching.
So anyways, my point is that like you started off like, you know, it was like $50 to $150 a gig.
At the most.
At the most.
Yes.
And yeah, and as he's been working, I mean, it's 5 to 10K a gig, you know?
Yeah.
It's those relationships that you build up and foster. Like another one that came our way, like I had someone hit me up that was a student of mine at UT, and then I knew Johnny and this other guy that he went to school with could help him, and it was AARP, like the old folks, like, dude, like, what is it, 8 years later, like, y'all are still doing Hispanic Heritage Month every September for them.
That's right.
And you have set gigs and live streaming, and you pick up all these commercial gigs so that you can go and then do like a lot of other gigs that you want to try out. And we have other colleagues that I definitely need to bring in, like Dan Niles.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's an independent filmmaker here in Austin, but you know, full-time independent filmmaker, like on his own money, going out and shooting and like making it with, you know, having to get insurance and having to do all that stuff to do production full-time. But in the film and video area, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Johnny knows how to do it. Johnny did it for about 4 years.
But about 4 years full time.
Yeah, 4 years
Just-
full time,
just-
making like $60,000 to $80,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just on gigs, just on consulting. And one of the things I would suggest entrepreneurially is to just remember that Austin and Houston are not far from here. And this can be a home base, and it's inexpensive to live here. Knock on wood, crime is lower here. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just simple. Like one of the things you mentioned that sounded trivial when you said it, if you heard it, was you know, you drive 15 minutes here and then you drive 15 minutes there and it's over, and like you have to know. But it's like once you know, it's only 15 minutes. And it's only 15 minutes. And like you can connect and move and be agile and literally in a geographical space that is very meeting up with each other once you know those spaces.
Absolutely. I guess to go back to your initial question, you were talking about like, what do you hope to get out of
Yeah.
this area? And I think one thing that I like so much about College Station is if there's something going on in Austin, you can make time to go over there and you'll be there. Like, so you take off at 8, you'll be there by 10, or even 6, you'll be there by 8. And then Dallas is 3 hours, Houston's even less, it's an hour. And since we're in the center of all that, I hope that I can kind of leverage that ability to go places and really capture what's going on in each city. Right now, you know, I think Houston's really neat because it's so close by, but I do want to explore more like the Austin area, especially Dallas. I feel like I've been underappreciating Dallas a lot, especially, you know, since now I think there's just one road that takes you straight there. But I think since this is such a small city, and the smaller cities around that, I feel like everyone's more humble and everyone's a lot easier to talk to. And so the people with talent that come by and want to talk to you, they're just real people. And I think that goes a long way, especially in such a, you know, relation-oriented, you know, field.
Yeah, the other thing I would add was that, and this sounds really random, is I had my sister give a talk to the ELMAS, Latin Mexican American Studies course that I teach. And we were talking about data and big data and looking at prenatal care. And one of the things about looking at prenatal care is that you look at census tracts in order to find birth rates. Like your city has to have so much of a population, because if you have a below a population, the births are too unique to be able to tell, like, you'll be able to tell who it was. Like, it's just too identifiable, so they don't include that in the information. So my sister was asking everybody their counties, you know, like what county you in, so she can look at the census tracts and look it all up. And when we mentioned Brazos, she was like, "Oh, that's too small." I'm like, "No, it's not." She's like, "What?" I go, "You know how many people are in Brazos County?" She's like, "No, I'm like, it's 270,000. She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, it's bigger than New Braunfels, it's bigger than San Marcos, like, but we just don't feel that. We don't think that way, especially once you go to Bryan. Bryan has this like really homely feel to it, you know? You don't feel 270,000. Then by the time you get over here to suburbia, well, suburbia, 270,000 people is like, you can go on and on. You don't feel it because it's suburbia. You're like, yeah, you know, where's our IKEA? You know what I mean? We got 3 Walmarts. How did that happen? You know, and so I think about that in terms of audience. That's what I think about when I'm talking about ROI, is that for having a small creative kind of tight-knit space, you do have enough volume of people, enough population to go and seek out creative endeavors, financial, like commercial creative endeavors within this area, and then also within Austin, Houston. I mean, I would say Valley, everywhere, you know? Like, if you're strategic. But yeah, no, but yeah, I think you know, I'm gonna have Zaina come up here with me. Zaina, you wanna come up? First of all, let's give you all a round of applause. I told Zaina he had to give a barn burner speech at the end, but we'll do it together. But that's like the goal of the conference. You know, Zaina really wanted to have this conference this year. And I said, okay, like, well, so what are you thinking, like April, like late March? And he was like, well, we got this concert in February. I'm like, in my head, I'm a facilitator. I say yes to everything. My mind, I'm like, no, you got like 2 conferences planned that month. And I was like, I can't tell this guy no though, because if he's gonna put the time in, he'll put the time in, you know? And as you can see, he put the time in, but now he's like dead, walking zombie asleep right now. Yeah, I think that was his biggest lesson, was that you have the concert after the conference, not before the conference. I think I'd like. But it was a fun lesson to watch and learn from a first person perspective.
Okay, I'm 2 decades older. Not less.
Yeah.
It was such a good concert.
The biggest thing was just the timing with y'all's class time. That's like the biggest thing. The reason why we had this conference too is like for Max to just to be here.
Yeah.
We couldn't convince him alone with just silly concert out in Brown, Texas. I think this conference helped it, and then the university coming and sponsoring, helping him come, especially when he gave a guest lecture. That's the only reason why I did it on Friday, because I'm never doing that again. That's what I'm saying. But I think like looking back on it, it was worth it because even Ace Ora, he went and told his management team, he said, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's from Denton, by the way. He drove from Denton, Texas yesterday. I've never heard of Bryan, Texas. I was like, okay. Now you do. Now you have. So given everything that happened, I'm looking back at it like, yes, there was a lot of mistakes. And there was a lot of good things that happened. And you know what? We're gonna see, we're gonna reflect on it, but this is a big step. This conference is kind of like that little reflection. And it's like I've kept trying to put in a lot of work for it, and a lot of meetings with Professor Campbell and Dr. Kateri and Max Need, and looking back on it's beautiful, especially with what y'all were saying with the film and entrepreneurship, especially what you said, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. And now it's like, I've always known it's between Austin and Houston, but I never truly saw it in the way that it is now. It's kind of like that little triangle out there. We're just right in the dead middle there.
Yep.
So not,
So that speed rail had to come in to be different.
don't never build that. They won't be building it. They won't be building it anytime soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming today. Like, I really do appreciate you and taking the time.
To add to that, a couple things. We have weekly meetups 5 to 7 on Tuesdays. They're in our lab in Bolton 113. Y'all are always, the community's always welcome to come and interact. We're always willing to collaborate, work with other groups. Our last meeting this past Tuesday was at the Vortex. So it was a good meetup and we had a good time and we ideated about some projects. The other thing is we're gonna have one more conference in April. It's gonna be a conference of what I call motley crews. And it's gonna be of different academic groups that do academic work like this. Where we run programs where we're trying to get people to tell like real stories, engage with real issues. And so we've got some colleagues from different spaces. We're gonna have Campbell and Will over here. They're gonna do a presentation and their students are gonna show work. We're gonna have a community group present. Maybe we can talk to the Vortex about putting together a presentation and all that interact, or maybe in addition to that one, we're also gonna just have a general artist community. So if y'all are interested, like if you're not with the Vortex, but you're here in College Station, like we can put together some presentations too, because we've got Will's wife Victoria, she's gonna be doing a presentation, and I've got some artists from San Antonio that do mural work that are gonna do some presentations about building community through murals. And yeah, we're just really, really excited to put that one together. But this one, it's like, we just need to keep having it. We need to keep iterating, keep going, okay, we learned this, okay, we're gonna do this different, okay, like, but to just keep having it, right? Like, Diego was like, well, I can't come to next year because I'm not gonna be here. And I was like, well, Alazar's here, so, you know, come on. Yeah, Alazar already graduated, but here he is, you know? So, to put it on onus on us is that, like, for you all that are from the community here, as part of the conference, like, you know, do not in any way hesitate to approach us to be like, well, next year, like, I want to moderate a panel and I want it to be about this or that. All right, well, could we do? Like, you know what I mean? It's not a problem. Like, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to build more community, build out this conference, and then see where it takes us.
And I'm gonna toss out, same goes for the conferences that we already had this term. We have the symposium, we have the futurism conference.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you got ideas for conferences.
Yeah.
Come approach us.
Yeah, and one of the things that we do every semester at the beginning is we plan out like our workshops for this semester. You know, but we're agile. If y'all come in here like, no, like we can't wait till next year to learn about monetizing our music business. You know, like, we want to know now.
That is super serious.
Yes, yeah, we can put that together as a workshop and be like, hey, we're not gonna have a whole conference about it, but we'll meet up at the Vortex or we'll meet up here on campus and put this together, because Will produces music out of the recording studio. We have a recording studio downstairs on the first floor. And we've actually got now a creative liaison, business industry liaison to Toby Pipes. Yeah, and so, this space is like, we're like literally a ground floor residence. It's not. There's nothing like, you're like, well, how come I didn't know about this? How come people are like. Join in, join on in, like, we're going and things y'all wanna do or collaborate on, let us know. So thank you all so much for coming, the audience, thank you all for coming, like, just, thank you.
So,
All right.